In the 2016 NBA Draft, the Minnesota Timberwolves select Kris Dunn from Providence College. See ya.
The 2016 NBA Draft was quite a memorable draft in my opinion. A guy who was scared to shoot a three was selected by the 76ers as the first pick in the draft. The Lakers selected Brandon Ingram as the second pick, and after being traded to the Pelicans for Anthony Davis, became an all-star himself. The Suns chose Dragan Bender as a fourth pick in the draft and solidified himself as a bust. Waste of a lottery pick if you ask me. The Bucks selected Thon Maker, who failed to make his mark in the league. And finally, my Raptors selected a certain little Pascal Siakam with the 27th pick in the draft. There's so many memorable picks in this draft, but I bet that most of you guys forget that Kris Dunn was selected 5th overall by the Timberwolves. Heck, even I forget this sometimes myself. So here I am asking myself, what happened to Kris Dunn? As mentioned before, the Minnesota Timberwolves selected Kris Dunn with the 5th pick in the 2016 draft. There were high hopes for him as the Timberwolves thought that he could be a great piece in their future bright core consisting of Cat, Andrew Wiggins, and Zach LaVine. In his scouting report, Kris Dunn was touted as a great perimeter defender as he averaged 2.5 steals per game in his senior year at Providence. Some of his other strengths included him being athletic and having great strength for a rookie point guard. His major weaknesses coming out of college was his offense and that he was turnover prone. But there were some red flags from the beginning as the Timberwolves didn't really need a point guard at the time as they had longtime Timberwolf Ricky Rubio as their starting point guard. As his rookie season started off, everybody knew that he would be coming off the bench and he would get limited minutes because of that. Kris Dunn's rookie season was kind of uneventful and kind of underwhelming if you ask me. Not only did the Timberwolves miss the playoffs for the 13th time in a row while finishing the season off with a 31-51 record, but Kris Dunn failed to make an impact on the team. Kris Dunn averaged 3.8 points per game, 2.1 rebounds per game, 2.4 assists per game, on 38% shooting from the field and 29% from the three-point line. Not to mention that he also shot 61% from the free throw line. That's really bad for a point guard. Like I said, pretty underwhelming, and Kris Dunn could have done a lot better. Also, Kris Dunn finished second in steals, just behind eventual Rookie of the Year Malcolm Brogdon, so there was still hope in him. During the 2017 NBA Draft, the infamous Jimmy Butler trade happened between the Chicago Bulls and the Timberwolves that involved Kris Dunn in it. The Bulls acquired Zach LaVine, the 7th pick Lauri Markkanen, and Kris Dunn for Jimmy Butler and the 16th pick Justin Patton. It was a great deal for Chicago as they received Minnesota's future for a superstar who didn't want to play for the Bulls anymore and actually wanted to contend. This also meant that the Bulls were going to start a rebuild and Kris Dunn would finally get more minutes. When the season did start, Kris Dunn immediately became the starting point guard for the Chicago Bulls, while having a much better sophomore season. Kris Dunn improved substantially from becoming the starting point guard, improved shooting, and solid averages. Although he missed a 10-game stretch due to dislocated teeth, dislocated teeth, Kris Dunn averaged 13.4 points per game, 4.3 rebounds per game, 6 assists per game on 43% shooting from the field, and 32% from the three-point line. Dunn was having a solid season before a sprained big toe ended his season. His second season in Chicago was more or less the same as his first season in Chicago. Dunn averaged 11.3 points per game, 4.1 rebounds per game, 6 assists per game on 43% shooting from the field and 35% shooting from the three-point line. Dunn was about to enter his 4th season in the league. Will that be his best season or nah? The answer is nah. Dunn averaged 7.3 points per game, 3.6 rebounds per game, 3.4 assists per game, on 44% shooting from the field and a disgusting 26% from the three-point line. So what figures? Before the 2019-20 season began, the Bulls drafted Kobe White and signed Thomas Satoransky during the offseason, both point guards, which meant that Kris Dunn would get less minutes. The Bulls are my second favorite team, and I'd rather have Kris Dunn be on a team where they need a point guard, such as Detroit or the Lakers. Or trade Satoransky because I don't like him that much since he played on the Wizards and I despise the Wizards. No offense to any Wizards fans, by the way. Kris Dunn would succeed on a team where he's the number one option for the point guard role. Right now, he isn't the number one option, and he won't be if he stays with Chicago for a couple more seasons. That will be Kobe White's job to be the number one option for the point guard position. It'll also be nice to see him under a proper head coach because Fred Hoiberg was running the Bulls to the ground, and now we got the worst coach in NBA history, in my opinion, in the form of Jim Boylan. That guy's a useless cunt. Not only was he the worst Bulls coach in history, he's honestly the worst coach in NBA history. And the new Lithuanian GM needs to fire him immediately. I'd be happy to see Kris Dunn on the Pistons or a team like that, because they need a point guard, and they have a good coach in the form of Dwayne Casey. And he's the type of player that needs to be the number one option for the point guard role. And he needs a good coach as well to make him an even better defender, and maybe he might even become a solid offensive player. Then we will see Kris Dunn succeed. If you have enjoyed this video, hit the like button and subscribe. This was MVG, and I'm out.